Bud Crawford puts on a virtuoso performance, giving a straight boxing clinic to Saul Canelo Alvarez. We got to talk about this one. Let's go.
I know you won't swing, but this is the Parry.
This is the Parry.
Hook getting uppercut is getting scary.
Oh, it's getting scary.
Treasure the truth or risk getting buried.
Risk getting
I'm
killed.
on a mission, you hear me? Yeah, this is the Parry.
This is
They
the
got
Parry.
the green light if we say go.
Go.
Young Tyson, wake him up with the BK flow.
You know.
Loading up late rounds, this is TKO.
Actually, now we're going to show you how to catch the jab. Actually, in boxing, it's called parrying.
Peace. Welcome to another episode of the Parry, where we don't pull and duck no punches, and the parry is fundamental to boxing. You know what it is. I'm your host, Bomani UFG.
I'm the pragmatic Che Black.
And we got a special guest with us, back on the Parry with us again, my brother, Baba Sekou. How you doing, brother?
I'm well, man. Thank you all for having me back on, especially after this historic fight. I'm appreciative.
Man, historic is what it was. Been saying for many years. This brother is special. Now the world get to see how special Terence Bud Crawford is. So, Baba, we're gonna start with you, man. Being that you probably been watching boxing longer than I knew what boxing was. in the context of just the history of the sport and all the great moments that you've witnessed, where does this win rank amongst all of the great things that you've witnessed in boxing?
Wow, that's a great question. I didn't witness this, but I would liken this to when Henry Armstrong went from, I think he went from lightweight all the way up to I think it was middleweight, something like that.
Middleweight, yeah.
And if you listen to or read the reports and the accounts of what happened, even in that middleweight fight, there was a debate that he actually won that fight. Some people say he actually would have been holding four belts.
Light heavyweight when he went up to
whatever that last one. I think it was light heavyweight, whatever.
Yeah,
light
heavyweight.
Some people say he actually, he won that fight. There's dispute. Is my point. My
Yes,
point is
it's
that
very
what Bud
debatable.
did is very debatable. But what he did last night was he did basically what Henry Armstrong did, only he completed it. He actually went from lightweight, he started at what 130?
130.
Right?
Yep.
Up to 168. That's unprecedented. And then to beat the man who is the man that's been the face of boxing for 12 years, I think it's really unprecedented. It's right up there with all the great achievements that Ali ever did. Again, Henry Armstrong ever did. Sugar Ray Robinson ever did. He set up a precedent that really I don't think ever be matched. He's undisputed in 3 different weight classes, unified, 3 different weight classes. I don't think anybody's ever done. Nobody's ever done. Know that, and I don't see anybody doing it, especially in the 4-belt era.
Right. Yo, Che, man, what you say, man? Give me your insight. Give me your thoughts, like what we witnessed last night, man.
I think we witnessed straight greatness. I mean, we all have to acknowledge the greatness that we witnessed.
Absolutely.
The performance, like the IQ, the level of alertness that Crawford had throughout the whole fight, that you could see on his face. You could see the awareness. You could see the anticipation of everything Canelo was throwing, that he was pretty much anticipated. So as far as the performance, where do I rate this performance? We had Pacquiao, who's went up multiple divisions in boxing and won titles, but he was never undisputed. I don't think he was undisputed, period, let alone to go up multiple divisions and then to fight the best in these divisions. Like, remember when he beat Spence, he beat who everybody looked at as the guy to beat, and then the fashion that he beat Spence in. Now he goes on directly after that fight. He calls out Canelo. He didn't get Canelo next. He went up and fought what's my man? I always have a hard time. Madrimov. He went and fought Madrimov right after that fight. And he said Madrimov even hit harder. Then he goes on to fight, you know, who's like you said, the face of boxing. He goes on to fight the face of boxing and pretty much beats him in a very similar fashion that he beat Terence, that he beat Errol Spence in. And even though he knocked out Spence, it was the same ease. It was the same comfortability. Like, he didn't just defeat Canelo. He didn't just clearly beat him. He easily beat him. He comfortably beat him. He washed him. He routed him. It was a virtuoso performance. Like, this performance, think of the greats that we have, right? And think of the performances. The last great that we can probably compare it to would clearly be Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Absolutely.
And look at Floyd Mayweather's greatest fights and his greatest moments. One of his greatest moments, his fights probably came also against Canelo as well, and the fact that he beat him with such ease. But the level of comfortability that Crawford did it at, the way he met him, he didn't just defeat him. Like, he didn't just win, he beat him. Like, if those was two men in the ring, there's no way you would have rather been Canelo at any second of that fight, period.
Right.
Like, just between two men, he didn't just outbox him, he beat him.
And on that note, let me show this clip, because there's somebody who I'm hoping he's watching this right now, right? Because me and him had a little wager on it, and if you out there watching, leave a comment. You know who you is. We had some money on this fight. Whole yard we put on the fight. So he sent me a text like, "Oh, Crawford ran for so many rounds." Hold on. Let me.
By Crawford. I think it's more than no
This
nonsense.
don't look like running to me.
As Teddy Atlas would
He
always
stood in
say,
the pocket.
Canelo was looking to be
Back
friends.
him up, big
And
buck,
Crawford
beat
is
that.
not looking to be friends.
Great exchange with
Now,
Terence
if
Crawford.
Canelo was able to
Right
do
there,
it, he
Canelo.
would have did it right there. If Canelo could have got it done, he would have did it right there.
Absolutely.
He put them hot tamales on him,
Yes, he did.
right? Like you said, Che, at no point in the fight would you have wanted to been Canelo. Like, look at my man's face. He got a little cut from a headbutt, right?
Right.
But
That's the only
look at his-
blemish on his face.
That's the only blemish on his face. Now, in comparison, I mean, my man looked like he had a rough day in Guadalajara, man. Like, he was walking through, you know what I mean,
He tasted
Tijuana.
a lot of leather. There's a lot of leather getting slapped on his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanna say this, man, about Terence Crawford, the athlete, the champion, one of the GOATs now, and the cost that he took to get where he's at, it gotta be appreciated and probably studied. Really, like, here's a man who he was never the darling of boxing. He wasn't put in the position of an Oscar De La Hoya or Floyd Mayweather or any of these guys. He was kind of. It got to a point when he got up to 140, 147. The top names in the sport wouldn't want to fight him. He was on the other side of the street, quote unquote, right? He had to get it honest. He pretty much backed Errol Spence to a corner. It got to a point where they on the phone with each other. Listen, man, we got to fight. And he goes out there, and to quote my brother Che Black, he gave him a back alley mugging. Beat that boy like he stole something, right?
Absolutely.
Then he moves up, becomes champion at 154. Everybody's saying, he didn't look good at that weight. Madrimov was this, that, and the third. And he moves up 2 more weight classes to fight the actual darling in the sport, to fight the face of the sport. Somebody who's been a superstar at the top level, the cash cow, and Canelo Alvarez, and completely dominates him. And now you have no choice. There is no other choice than to put respect on that man's name. What else can you say? You can't say anything else about the man now. They doubted him from the very beginning, right? They said he was on the top rank diet, right? That he wasn't as good as people as advertised. He was too small. It was that his resume, his this and that.
Right.
But whenever he was put in a position to where people thought he was going to lose, Errol Spence, for example. Oh, he's too small. Errol Spence is too strong, and he beat that boy. Canelo, oh, he's too small for the weight class. Can he handle the power? This, that. Stood in the pocket with him and beat that boy. Man, this is one of the greatest things I witnessed in boxing. Like,
Mhm.
and I'm talking about the journey though. The journey that he
Yes.
took to get here.
Yeah.
I can't name a fighter that was in this position that took that route. At some point, they became
The only
the
one that
face of
comes
the
close
sport.
is the only one that comes close is Bernard. For many years, Bernard was on the other side of the street, and he
Absolutely.
finally got his chance. They have a very similar
Very
career
similar
trajectory.
path.
But you're right. I think he's the only one I would say that's comparable in the modern era.
Now, my next question, excuse me. On our preview show, Che, we the question was, where would this put Crawford in the word we both like, in the pantheon of great
Mhm.
fighters, on the Mount Rushmore of
I was going to
fighters,
say
Mount Rushmores, like, because it can't be just
right,
four. Like, we know it's many greats.
right.
Is he now? Is he? Are we call his face deserve to be carved in that mountain now?
If there's a top five, right? If we're to name the top five greatest boxers of all time from any era, his name would have to be included in that five.
That's gonna be a tough five, though.
I know. I didn't say
It's gonna be
he's.
a tough
I
five.
mean, he might have him number five, but all right. And this is why, right? Here's why. It's not just the wins. Like, he's not a fighter with questionable wins on his record. He's not a fighter like, yo, he got lucky there, or that could have went this way, or he's not a fighter in that fashion. He's also a fighter that, when you really look at it, you haven't really seen him lose a whole lot of rounds throughout his career since the Gamboa fight. That was probably the closest we seen him to losing in a fight, was when he fought Gamboa. After that, even in fights like the where he took some rounds off, in fights like the fight with Porter, in the Porter fight, where he came back and did what he did, he clearly showed the level of class that he was in that fight. Once he was told, yo, bro, you're not winning the fight, he went out there and was like, I'm not, and said, okay, let me get this out the way, because it clearly was not because he was struggling with this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say, like, that when I think of some of the fighters that we put in these lists, like Muhammad Ali gets put in, like, no one can mention the top greatest five boxers of all time without mentioning Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And Muhammad Ali fought everybody in his era.
Everybody.
But when you
Right.
look at his fights, did he dominate everybody, or did he just beat them? Did he just get the win? Was he fought? You understand what I'm saying? And the fashion that we've seen Crawford defeat these guys, and it's unfortunate that he got two big names on his record. And it's unfortunate that will be held against him. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. But the fashion of how he beat them, who those two big fighters were, when he fought them, the fact that when he called out Canelo, everybody thought he was crazy initially. And what did I say initially? He was daring to be great. Like, he's daring to be great. If he toiled in the back of the line for so long that when he seen an opportunity, he cut in line real quick. And that's why I said what I said, because what he did kind of cut him in the line. And I would put Winky Wright in that too. I would put Bernard, Winky, and now Bud Crawford.
That's a good name to throw in there. Winky Wright for
That's
sure
definitely a good name.
had a similar, very similar path. But what do you say, Baba? Like I said, in the pantheon of the greats, are we carving his face in the mountain now?
We have to. Unfortunately, for just the way we look at history, we tend to make the people of the past greater, and people of the modern era, a little bit, especially in boxing, tend to be don't get the same kind of credit. I think one of that is just because of the times we live in. We live in softer times. We live in times where everybody gets a participation trophy and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, we have to put him up there, man. He is clearly, and what I go by is, could he fight in any era? Could he have fought in the 40s? Could he have fought in those back rooms, those barroom fights back in the day before boxing became so slick like it was last night with the ring and all the lights? Could he have fought in the 50s? Which is a lot of people consider the first golden era. Could he have fought in the 70s?
With the cigar smoking
in the cigar. Exactly. You know what I'm getting at. Exactly. Could he have fought in the 80s when the casinos began to take over and that Sugar Ray era? And again, let's put up some names. Could he have fought against Carlos Palomino? Could he have fought against Roberto Duran when he was when they were in lightweight days? Could he have fought against a Sugar Ray Leonard as a welterweight and won, or at least acquitted himself well? Could he have fought against Hagler in the 80s? So and I say yes, he could have competed with all those guys and probably, if not won, he would have held his own. And I think he might have won against some of those. So it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I think he belongs on the Mount Rushmore, and there's no doubt.
I agree with both of you. I think considering the accomplishment of becoming the 3-time undisputed champion in 3 weight classes, which hasn't the 2 times haven't been done. He's the first person to do that. And then he upped the ante on himself and became a 3 different division undisputed champion. Off the accomplishments alone, you got to mention him. But here's the thing about his resume that I hope at some point pundits and fans alike go back and really dissect his career, because you got to consider the fact that he was kind of ostracized from the big fights throughout his career. But when you look at certain fighters and when he beat them, right, whenever he was either expected to lose or he was going up against a highly touted or favorite fighter, he dominated them though, right? Now Madrimov, he had, his style is tricky. He has a very extensive amateur background, like 300 some odd fights as an amateur. I think he's an Olympian, and he has a very, very tricky, Russian style. But when you think about Ricky Burns, right, he had to go into Scotland and take the belt from this guy. When he fought, Breeders Prescott, then he fought Gamboa. 50 Cent set up the fight my man about to make his name off Terence Crawford. And he beat that boy. Remember, this is when Gamboa was undefeated. He was looked at as the next guy.
His ticket in the boxing.
Right. Yep. And Gamboa got put the next fight. Then he moves up, becomes undisputed at 140. Clean out the division. There was really nobody there for him to fight, if we being honest. So what he do? Move up to 147. Can't hold that against him. He moved up to 147 where all the killers was. This is when 147. This was like the one of the best eras of 147 of the welterweight division. It's as far as in recent memory, you had Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Terence Crawford. You had Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. You had all these guys.
Yeah, you had what's the mother from England?
Oh, Kell Brook.
Kell Brooks.
Yeah, Kell Brooks. 147 was full of monsters. None of them would give him a chance. Oh, win a title, do this, do that. He wins the title, then he can't get the fight. He ended up fighting Sean Porter. Now people may say, again, he always says when I beat them, they become nobodies. People don't give him credit for the Sean Porter win. Sean Porter was a dog, right? I think he lost to Kell Brook. He lost his title to Kell Brook, came back, became champion again, beat Ugas. Sean Porter beat some good fighters. He was a
the problem with Sean Porter. Pardon me.
No,
the problem with Sean Porter is that he's the guy that they all beat. He becomes the guy that if you had it the special fight, he's the one that you got to beat him. He almost is like Obakar.
Right. I can see that. But credit to Sean Porter, he fought everybody. He didn't duck no smoke from nobody.
Only the special fighters are gonna beat Sean Porter. Sean Porter is one of them fighters that ain't no regular fighter just gonna come along and beat him.
No, right. You gonna make it work.
He fights Amir Khan. He fights Kell Brook, David Avanesian. He's running through these guys, beat Sean Porter. Now, Errol Spence, you and I got to fight. And he completely dominates him. The man who was looked at as the man in the division, he dominates him. Moves up, beats Madrimov, who arguably at the time was probably the best champion in the division. Like, let's be honest. He was probably the best champion. Even at 10, 11, and 0, whatever his record was at the time, he was looked at as probably the best fighter or the best champion in the division. He comes up, beat him, jumps 2 weight classes to fight Canelo with all the advantages not in his favor, pretty much. You know what I mean? Too small, jumping 2 weight classes, this, that, and the third, and dominates Canelo. Like, give this man his credit. That resume nonsense. You don't know boxing, and you didn't really watch Terence Crawford throughout his career to see how great he actually is. He dominated every single opponent that was supposed to beat him. He dominated them. Terence Crawford, in my opinion, is I have to think about the top 5 based off accomplishment though. The three time undisputed in 3 different weight classes. I think on face value, that kind of I would put him in the top 5 off that alone without really doing the analysis and breaking down my top 5. But you got to put him up there. He's definitely carved his face in the mountain today. He's one of the GOATs. Now, is he over Floyd Mayweather?
I mean, like that would be opinion on who you think would win. Like, did he accomplish more than Floyd Mayweather? What means more to you? The fact that Floyd Mayweather beat so many former champions, regardless of what stage that they were at, just the fact that he can say that they were champions, or the fact that Floyd Mayweather was never undisputed in any division, and here we have someone who's went undisputed in 3 divisions. So when you start to look at it, what holds more weight to you? And that's how this is looked at, you know.
What do you say, Baba? I can't even give an opinion.
That's a good one.
That question just popped in my head. I can't even give an opinion on that right now. I want to think about that.
I'm not often lost for words, man. But that would be a dream fight to see, man. I don't know. I think that I guess this after what I watched last night, I'd have to favor Bud over Floyd, but I say that, with the caveat that I could take that back. If that actually could happen, I would like to see them both training, the lead up to the fight and all that kind of stuff, because that would be a hell of a fight to see. But I agree with you. I think that he's definitely top 5, and I put a little more weight on him solidifying being undisputed in 3 different weight classes over beating champions, or former champions, as many former champions as Floyd Mayweather defeated. I think that the idea that he cleaned up 3 different divisions, in his era, in his time, is a hell of an accomplishment, and that's something that Floyd didn't do, and he had the opportunity to do it as well. And matter of fact, he could have done it, but again, Floyd was at a different level. He was more of a superstar. Again, he was on the right side of the street, so he didn't necessarily have to do some of the things that Bud had to do to become a part of this conversation.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the lineal champion. Like, he beat the man who beat the man in all of these situations. Right. And when he beat Julius Indongo, and Julius Indongo just knocked out the champion, knocked him out, took the belt, and he came in and stopped him, moved up to 147. Errol Spence was the man. Errol Spence was picking up belts. He was going down the line, snatching belts, ran into Bud. That was the end of that. Canelo had all the belts. Right, he had all the belts. He was the man. So
took all his belts.
Top 5 might be where you have to put him. It might be, man. Like this is it's beautiful to watch, man. Like, I feel like I know him. I've been a Terence Crawford fan for so long, to see him actually, like, I knew he was special, but I think the world now knows just how truly special of a talent and an athlete this man is, man. Like, shout out to Bud Crawford, man. For real, man.
And Crawford's resume isn't a bad resume. Like, it's not like people look at it like it's weak. Like, remember, he gave Jose Benavidez his first loss, and not to say that because we see Jose obviously, is not the better the good Benavidez out of the 2, but
he was good though.
That's what I'm
saying.
He had a name. He came from a boxing family. He wasn't somebody that was taken lightly. He got the win over Amir Khan. After, and it's a travesty that he didn't get the fight with Pacquiao, especially being that he was with Top Rank. I'm pretty sure that a part of him sticking around and really being with Top Rank was in hopes of a fight with Pacquiao, and we know that there's no way that Bob Arum was gonna put Pacquiao in that fight. There's no way he was gonna do that. Bob Arum knows
That was his cash cow.
and there's no way. But he did go on to beat Jeff Horn, who was the one who beat Pacquiao in his comeback after he beat was it Thurman. So yeah, with that being said, his resume is pretty decent. We mentioned Sean Porter. He had a decent resume. Of course, Errol Spence, who we don't even know what's up with Errol Spence after that. We don't even know. And it kind of takes away the way he beat Canelo. It really takes away all the argument that something was wrong with Spence going into that fight. It really kind of mutes that argument that we didn't get 100% Spence, because the way he beat Canelo doesn't really matter at this point. And the way he beat Canelo,
you got your ass whooped when you take a sabbatical.
Right. He ain't 4 cents. He ain't 4 cents.
Yeah. When you get beat like that and you take years off, like my man needs some time to recover. He needed to heal physically, mentally, spiritually. That boy went on a sabbatical. He grew dreads now. Like he went and just he had to go back and think about his life. He had to recalibrate everything that was important to him, man.
Absolutely.
On vacation, take care of his family.
Yeah, take a retreat.
Yeah, that was a life-altering ass whipping.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
He had to think about his life. I mean, think about it. Look, you know how long it take to grow dreads? Right?
Yeah, I had
your man dreads is almost shoulder length now, man. That's how long he been gone.
Yeah,
like he had a fro, and he come back with shoulder length dreads, man. Like that was how long he been out thinking about his life, man. Shout out to Errol Spence, though. No disrespect.
No, we love you, Errol Spence. We love you at the Proud Errol Spence.
Yeah,
nothing but respect. This is boxing commentary, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now, as far as a rematch with Spence and Crawford goes, the way that Crawford beat Canelo and the way we haven't seen nothing from Spence, that fight is so far in the rearview mirror right now of Team Crawford, it wouldn't even make sense. What Spence would have to do in a comeback wouldn't make sense. Which then leads
Let me ask y'all a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Just looking at Canelo, I know we're talking a lot about Bud, and we should be, but what does a Canelo versus Benavidez fight make sense now?
And this is where I was going with it. Now that he said that he wants to keep the title at 168, he's not going back down if he continues to fight, that he's going to stay at 168. So we know that Benavidez has moved up to 175, but if Benavidez can't come back down to 168 pounds, that's probably to be the next biggest fight that could be made in boxing right now that I could think of. That would be right now the next biggest fight I could think of. Him and all right, at 168 pounds, you got who? Shirhan, who Hamza,
Shiraz, yeah.
Shiraz,
I like Hamza Shiraz. Yeah.
And I like Hamza Shiraz as well.
I like him a lot too,
especially after he just beat the way he beat Berlanga. Like that, I like him even more now after that. But when you look at the 100, is that a big fight though? I mean, it's a good fight for boxing fans, but the way that this fight was such a big fight, and at this stage in Crawford's career, who do you want to see him fight now? Because he just mentioned Benavidez, and I was saying he's staying at 168. Is that the next biggest fight? Is there a bigger fight?
Can Benavidez make 168 though? That's the question.
Benavidez is light heavyweight now. He's on to fight Bivol. Like that's a better fight for him. Fight Bivol. I'm gonna be honest. What I want for Terence Crawford in this, I hate to say this. I think he should just retire, man.
He should retire.
Yo, go off into the sunset, bro. You did everything, man. Why?
I feel that. But the performance that he gave, I feel like this. If he said, I want to go fight cruiserweight tomorrow, I believe he'll win. The way he just beat this guy, like whatever Crawford comes out and says he wants to do, I'm actually a believer at this point. And I think that, and this is what I feel. I feel like he shouldn't have to wait until, and he probably wouldn't even be able to get it anyway after that point, after he retires. So I'll say it like this. If the Sheikh just gave $150 million to Canelo, He needs his $150 million check before he rides off. He needs to ride off in the sunset. I just don't see anybody out there that could give it to him. But I think he needs something like that, man. Turkey, open that purse up real quick. Yeah, I mean, open that purse up, Turkey.
Who could he fight for $150 million though? What I mean, ain't that many candidates out there.
I'll say this.
Heavyweight. Come on, man.
No, I'm joking.
That'd be crazy though. Imagine. Imagine though. He did. Yo, there's anybody that if he announced that tomorrow, listen, I'm about to fight Usyk at heavyweight. I want to be a 4-time undisputed champion. I'm gonna believe him. I'm gonna believe
oh yeah, me too. I told you I'll never go against Bud, so I would believe it. But I'm like, that's a hell of a way to make that $150 million.
Yeah, right.
He did.
Right.
He did say he wanted to probably go back down to 160. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Jamal Charlo at 160, or did he move up to 168?
Charlo is at 168.
Yeah, 168 now. Well, if he stayed at 168, I'll watch that. I'll watch. Look, you didn't get a chance to fight Jamel at 154.
But this is the Charlo that got his ass whooped by Canelo, though. Like, this the Charlo that got his ass whooped by Canelo.
Jamel is the one who got his ass whooped. He
ain't at 168. The one
I'm talking about Jamal.
Jamel is still at 168.
We talking about
at 160. So he would.
We talking about OE crab legs. That's Charlo.
He would have to come up.
I wouldn't mind watching that. A quick make a quick buck and then
it ain't no $100
million. He ain't gonna get $100 million for that though. So
well, then probably rematch Canelo. Like do a Canelo rematch. Why not? Run it back.
That's what I would do. I would I
would do it too.
Does anybody believe Canelo has a chance in a rematch besides Mexicans? Because the whole Mexico will swear he got a chance. Don't get me wrong.
Well, we should talk about that too, because like I said, going into the fight, every Spanish, every Latino trainer, boxer. I mean, I saw my man Danny, what's it called on the airplane? You know, we was coming back from a Virgin Islands. You know,
Danny Garcia
from Philly. Danny Garcia. He was on the same plane I was coming back from back in July, coming back from Virgin Islands, and I asked him right on the plane, who you got? And he's like, Canelo. I said, why? He said, too big. I said, you know better than that, man. Come on, you seen it ain't about size. Come on, Dan, you got to do better than that. He's like, no, man. Well, my point is that all the Latinos, trainers, and boxers pretty much lined up behind
Even Puerto
Canelo.
Ricans was picking the Mexican.
Yeah, and as I said, Latinos, and I guess, and then most of the blacks obviously clearly was voting for Bud.
We had a couple though. See, we was the ones who had a couple that was saying, I don't know, man, he's too big, and I'm arguing with the brother at my job. Well, the problem is Canelo is just a skill. And I'm looking at him like, just a skill.
Skill? No.
Skill.
He might be bigger, he might be stronger, he might hit a little harder, but not skilled. You can't say that. That brother don't know boxing.
What was my man? Because he should have he should have got the victory over Canelo a few years back. Trout.
Who, Lara?
Yeah,
Lara
should have got it. Lara should have got it. Trout got knocked down late. I think he was going to lose that, but Lara should have got it. Yeah, Lara should have got it. Yeah, because let's be clear. We talked about this before.
Fight.
Canelo always has trouble with slick fighters. That's why he ain't fought none since Floyd. He don't, they don't. Like,
and I wouldn't consider Bud a slick fighter.
No,
I wouldn't even consider him a slick fighter. He's just a dog.
He's slick in the sense that he, like you said, he's so highly skilled and he has such a high ring IQ. Like, he's got a boxing savant. In that sense, he's slick. But you're right. From the point of view of being in the ring and fancy and all that, no, he's not. But he's slick in the sense of his skill level, his ability to change up, his ability to adjust on the fly, to pick up your weaknesses and to begin to exploit them. And Canelo just can't do it. Like Bomac said after the end of the fight, he's too slow. He can't deal with fast twitch guys who can throw them hands, got good foot movement, can get out of trouble, and that's why he don't fight them. And I think that's why most Latino fighters don't fight slick fighters, because they just can't keep up athletically and they can't keep up skill wise.
I mean, I think the best version of Canelo was at 154. Or Canelo weight. What was it, like 155? He had his own little weight class going on for a second.
Little catch weight for a while. He had those catch weight.
That was the best version of Canelo. Like, not that he hasn't been good moving up, but at the same time, it was you know, he didn't have to fight a certain kind of way against these bigger guys, right? He was a lot more crafty and skilled than most of the guys he was fighting in the weight class. I mean, come on, he's fighting the John Ryders and the Billy Joe Saunders, and like he was up there. Like these dudes are not. I'm not saying they're not good, but they not that good. You know what I mean? They're not on the level.
They're not skilled.
The fact that Crawford came out in a southpaw stance, you know, we know that Crawford switches back and forth, but the fact that he chose southpaw, that right there was slick right there in itself. That right there in itself was giving him an angle that he knew Canelo was going to have problems with. And once he realized, okay, Canelo's he's reaching. I can make him reach off of it. Once he realized that,
and he can see that,
I'm staying in this stance all night. This is going to get this alone is giving him problems. This look gave Canelo problems alone.
Yep. Because he could see that right hand coming. Because he had to go further. You know, he has to go further when you're in that southpaw stance. That right hand has to go further, and that's why he kept picking them off. He caught so many of Canelo's right hands with his left. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was.
I thought I was watching a martial arts movie.
I know, right? I thought that Canelo's shot to the hip was going to cause problems, and this. I said when he was hitting him early, I said, "Man, he's catching him.
Trying to slow him down.
He's catching him. And that was smart on Canelo. Like Canelo has an IQ himself, and that right there,
absolutely.
And the way he was able to catch him, and it didn't seem like Crawford was really doing anything to stop it. Although I realized that as the fight progressed, how it wasn't as effective as Canelo thought it was going to be, and then. Canelo, as he started taking shots, the more Canelo took shots, the more he was less to go downstairs the way he did.
Absolutely.
Yo, hold up though. Let's also give flowers to Crawford's team, Bomac, Red Spikes. Like the game plan. Like we also got to acknowledge like they give him like great tactical, you know what I mean, insight to the fighters that he's in the ring with. He comes in very well prepared, and the game plan always works out. I mean, the Errol Spence, I know we keep going to the Errol Spence fight, but I mean, even Bomac said before the fight, he said, this is going to be easy. We're going to make, he's too slow. He can't do this, and that. And he exploited everything he said he was going to do. The same with Canelo. Yep. They give this guy such a great game plan for the fight, and he goes in there and he executes it. So, I mean, Bomac, Red Spikes, I forgot the Spanish brother that he works with. Like, shout out to them, man. And they've been together with him from day one.
Day one.
So
he never changed nobody. He never went to nobody else.
Nobody else. And I'm pretty sure they was trying to everybody was trying to get a piece of Terence Crawford.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know that.
He stayed loyal to the soil, man. So
that might have been some of his problem though, Bomani. That might have been some of his problem why he was on the wrong side of the street, because he didn't play the game. He didn't go over. He didn't sell out and go with the so-called bigger name trainers, you know. And I'm not gonna say no names because I don't know which ones, but I'm sure they tried to pull him. And Bomac and them guys stayed down with him, man. And like you said, you got to give them their flowers, man. They believed in them, and they all, again, compare even the advice Canelo was getting last night in his corner. It wasn't get inside.
His
like we
advice
get inside.
Was trash.
Right,
it was trash.
Advice was
get
trash.
Inside. How am I getting inside without getting touched up?
Right.
You know, tell me how. You know what I mean? You got to give me. Yeah, they didn't get none of that.
Exactly. They should have told him, work your jab, step on the outside of his
He didn't work the jab.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't work, but he didn't want to work off the jab against the southpaw though, because he know he got
well, the only way he could have done it was by trying to step on the outside of his foot, and he couldn't.
And Bud wasn't gonna let that happen.
And Bud wouldn't.
And Bud wasn't gonna let that happen.
And a lot of that also was Bud's strength, and Bud able to grab him when necessary and handle him when they grabbed him. Like every exchange.
I didn't see no big size difference. Did you see a size difference?
No. Hold on, but I'm glad you brought that up, Che, because that's something I meant to mention. I noticed early on, whenever they clinch, Bud would turn him. Like he would move him. He was the one moving him and turning him. Like he seemed like the stronger man that night too.
He did.
And even in that clip that I showed in that exchange, he'd throw a shot. Canelo would come in. He'll back him up off him, hit him with something. Like he seemed like the stronger man in the ring against Canelo.
And
as much as they were talking about he's too small and Canelo's power, like he wasn't having none of that.
I didn't see the bigger man. Yeah, I didn't see Canelo as the bigger man, physically or strength-wise. I didn't see it.
At the press conference, the first press conference, or the very first time we seen them meet up after the fight was announced, we seen this. And this is what I was trying to explain to my cousin. This is what I'm trying to explain to King's son 7-7. He ain't had like he clearly let him know you don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
He pushed when he pushed him back in that press conference. That was a precursor to what was gonna happen in the ring if they locked horns in that fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm bringing? My pedigree ain't just boxing. I was doing this. I was slamming jokers on the mat.
Right.
I wasn't just punching on jokers.
Right.
If he decided he can go MMA tomorrow, he'd be the one. Crawford would be the one.
And I wouldn't bet against him.
Nah.
He could go on and say, McGregor, I'll take you in the octagon. He would be the one. He got that pedigree.
Here's my next question. In comparison, which victory is better, and which performance was better, should I say? Was it Floyd's domination of Canelo, a 20-something-year-old Canelo, or is it Crawford's domination of this version of Canelo? Which is more impressive to you?
It's not even a question. Crawford. And I'm not saying
what do you say, Bubba?
I'm not saying it was that much better. He did it in a better fact. I'm just saying for entertainment value, the way he did it. Go ahead.
I think Baba Sekou froze.
He did.
Baba, you there?
Nah, he froze.
Yeah, he froze. All right, I give him a chance to come back.
Yeah, get him back in here. But I'm gonna definitely say, look at the face. Look at Canelo's face after the Floyd fight. And look at Canelo's face after he fought Crawford.
Right.
Like that was the welts all on Canelo's face. We didn't see those welts like that after he fought Mayweather. And Mayweather, don't get me wrong, Mayweather beat him just as easy. You know, I don't
one judge had it a draw or something crazy.
I don't remember what rounds Canelo actually won in that fight.
He might have won as many rounds in that fight as he did in this one. Two max. I don't think he won. I don't think he won any round against Floyd.
I don't think he won any rounds in the fight. But the entertainment level of the fight and the manner in which he did it, he went in his house and took him out. I ain't gonna say took him out because he didn't knock him out, but he went in his house and stood toe to toe with him. He went in there. He went into the house with the fire.
Yo, let me just shout everybody out, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the gym with us right now. You know what I'm saying? They came out here to the Parry to support, man. Just remind y'all to please go ahead and smash that like button, jab that like button, cut that subscribe button, man. Yeah, Ricky. Yeah. Ricky Hatton is he up out of here.
No longer with us.
You know what I'm saying? Ricky Hatton up out of here. He was trying to make a comeback too.
That's probably what got him in, got him done. You know, he all that beer and fried food and tried to come back.
all the fish and chips.
I wasn't trying to make a joke about the man dying. I was just saying, it's just
we're not doing that. It was the timing, Jay. Sometimes it's the timing, man. He just made me laugh. Excuse me. No disrespect to Ricky Hatton and his family. You know what I'm saying? May he rest in peace, I guess.
Ricky Hatton passed? I didn't know that.
Yes,
Ricky Hatton passed away. He was trying to make a comeback, though. He was coming back.
Rest in peace to Ricky Hatton.
He was in the gym. He was in the gym trying to come back, man.
You know what though? He did a lot of yo-yoing, man. I remember back when he was fighting at, he was at his peak of his career. He would go up to 180, 180,
180, 190, ridiculous.
190, and he dropped 45 pounds to fight and all that. That up and down, man, that puts a lot of stress on your heart and on your organs, man. So I'm not surprised, and but I'm definitely RIP, man. Rest in peace.
Nah, rest in peace. Rest in peace to Ricky Hatton, man. Hall of Famer, Ricky Hatton.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, remember he beat Kashizu when Kashizu was pretty much at his prime, when Kashizu was a menace, terrorizing the 140-pound division. He went on to beat Jose Luis Castillo in like 4 rounds, knocked him out with a body shot, and he had a pretty decent career.
Now he had a good career, man. I mean, considering that, nobody really, he kind of came out of nowhere, like at a certain point. Like he came over here. We thought he was just over there beating on bricks. Came over here and he did what he had to do against some good fighters, man. I mean, he was a legit champ. He came in, he snatched those. Then he
acquitted himself well, even in his losses. He acquitted himself well against Floyd. He was, he got
against Floyd, against Floyd, he got destroyed against Pacquiao.
Yeah,
Pacquiao
Pacquiao
got
put that boy
destroyed.
into Pacquiao sent him to the never mind. Damn.
And he had
I ain't gonna say it.
and he had what's the name in his corner. He had Floyd Mayweather Sr. in his corner for the Pacquiao fight.
Yeah.
And probably looked the worst he ever looked. And that was probably the worst he ever looked. And then after that, his last fight was another loss, another KO in the 9th round against Vyacheslav Sinchenko when he fought Sinchenko. And that was the last time he was in the ring. I want to fights over there in England that wasn't, I don't even know Sky TV even showed that fight.
I want to add some more context to this victory over Canelo for Bud, right? If you think about it, remember they was talking about Errol Spence fighting Canelo. Like that conversation started to happen before the Bud fight. They were saying even Canelo was entertaining it. Like, yeah, he's a good fighter, He was entertaining the idea.
Canelo taking that fight. That's a fight I can't see Canelo taking.
Remember he signed with PBC for a second. They were talking about that fight. And remember, they also building Errol Spence to be the next guy in the sport. They was really promoting him to be the guy. And Bud completely snatched all of that from him.
Yes.
Like legit, went in there, went in his home, kicked black boot, stomped his door down, went upstairs, all in his jury box, went in his safe, you know what I'm saying? Strong arm robbery style, took everything from him. Like that fight was being talked about legit, and it was being tossed around after, I believe after he beat Ugas. They wasn't, I'm pretty, if they had any talks about it, it was probably more along the line of what weight class or what weight they was going to have the fight. Right. I don't know how far they got into, if they even had negotiations, but I do remember the conversation being had. The question, it starts with the press. Hey, would you fight Canelo? Or hey, Canelo, would you entertain an Errol Spence fight? Like it was starting to become a thing. And the idea of Crawford fighting Canelo was never in the conversation. Nobody thought it was even possible.
I mean,
until after he beat Spence.
When the idea was first announced to Canelo, after Crawford had mentioned it, Canelo kind of scoffed at the idea.
He did. He did.
He's too small. I'm not fighting. He's like, I'm not doing that. It wasn't until that 150 million got put on the table that he was like,
I can't walk away.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure part of the comfort that Canelo has in his defeat is that $150 million that he made. Yeah. And the fact that win, lose, or draw, he knew going in that fight. Like, I'm pretty sure in the back of his mind, it's like, man, it don't matter. That's $150 million. Not to say that he went in there and didn't give it his all, but
he did.
Because he did. But $150 million is that's something that you can easily fall back and comfort yourself on.
He had 150 million reasons to take that fight.
Exactly, in a tough, embarrassing loss like that. Because if it wasn't for that 150 million, I don't think he would have done that. Because he knew in his heart the risk he was doing. And in the interview after the fight, you could hear it in what he was saying. And during the fight, you could see it in his face. Like he knew what he was actually getting into, which is why you seen him training with boots. He knew what he was getting into.
Canelo took this fight serious. He really, he took this fight 100% serious. He knew he was in there with a dog. Like
and
everybody that was
a smaller man.
He definitely didn't want to lose to a smaller man, but that's what happened.
Exactly. Yes.
That's exactly what happened, man.
But he had 150 million reasons, like you said, to take that risk.
Absolutely.
I ain't mad at him. But all right, so what's next for Canelo? What's next for Canelo? Other than trying to get.
That's what I was asking earlier. Does he fight? Does it make sense for him to fight Benavidez?
Oh, you were saying with Canelo, pardon me.
Yeah, I was saying it from the Canelo angle. Does it make sense for him to fight Benavidez? That's the fight everybody wanted. Does that fight even look attractive now? I mean, I know it'll go.
Yes.
It'll make a lot of money.
It'll make money, but you have to have Benavidez the favorite at this point. Clearly,
I had him the favorite already, but now it's the luster to that fight is. A little bit of steam came off of that.
And that's why I asked the question. That's why I'm asking the question. Yes.
Yeah. Will I still watch it? Yeah, I'm paying for that. I'll still watch that on pay-per-view. I'm watching that. 100%.
It still should happen. Yeah. It still should happen. But
It should have happened already.
Yeah, it should have been happened. It should have been happened. But it's
It
a fight
ain't.
that at this point now, after what we just seen, you got to make Benavidez the favorite.
If he wasn't already,
I'm with Bomani. He already was the favorite in my opinion. That's
he
why
was already the
Canelo
favorite.
don't want no parts of it. That's why Canelo didn't want to fight him.
In my opinion, he was the favorite. Well, I favored him. I'll say that. I favored him. But if the fight went on paper, would the odds have had Canelo in favor? Like, we had went to what's that, FanDuel or whatever? We went on FanDuel and had the benefit of having Canelo as an underdog if we wanted to put our money on Canelo, and I doubt it at that point. I think now, though, that would be clear.
I think if the fight happened back then, I think it would have been, the odds would have been close. I don't think if Canelo was the favorite,
I think they would have been close.
I
think they would have been good. I think they would have been close, but because of Canelo's star power, his star factor, it would have gave him an edge in the eyes. We've seen that with fights with like Oscar De La Hoya when he went into fight like Trinidad or even Ike Cortez. How his popularity,
he was
his popularity carried the odds in his favor in both of those fights.
Yeah, I don't think some of that's political though.
Absolutely, it's absolutely political. I mean, look at the odds for those who knew boxing and knew the middleweight division. I don't know if we had this argument. I know me and Bomani did, but I don't know what the three of us did. But there's no way in hell Trinidad was going to beat Hopkins, in my opinion. Like, as much as I like Trinidad, as dangerous as Trinidad was, there was no way in hell he was going up to 160 pounds to beat Hopkins at that point. And I think it was like a 3-1. The odds was like 3-1. Matter of fact, I made money off of that fight, and I didn't want to do it because I had to go against Trinidad. But like a fight like that, you had odds that was just crazy.
Right.
Yo,
right. And I think
Che, Baba, hold on one second. Yo, Che, man, you gotta do me a favor, man. Every time we start talking about boxing,
I already know where you're going.
You got to break up this fight, man. I'm still. Stop.
Well, if you were following the sport like you is now, back then you would have knew ahead of time. You would have saved. You would have been heartbroken when they signed the contract.
Listen, man.
You would have been heartbroken when they signed the contract.
I was a huge Felix Trinidad fan. That was my favorite fighter in the entire world, and he got mollywopped.
At that moment, he was my favorite fighter in the sport. At that moment, he was. But I knew what he was getting into, though. And just like when he fought Wright, like I knew he couldn't beat those fighters. Come on, man, let's just be real. We seen what he didn't beat De La Hoya, so he's gonna beat Wright or beat Hopkins, and he didn't even beat De La Hoya.
Yo, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of hearing about it, man.
That's the fight.
You always bring it up, man. Stop talking about it, man. I don't want to hear it no more, man. Come on, man. Jeez, man, I'm traumatized. I got PTSD, man. Like, I don't want to hear about that fight.
Y'all killing me.
I don't want to hear about that fight no more, man. That fight,
brothers, man.
Yo, Trinidad was a brother. He just spoke Spanish, man. Come on, man. He had nappy hair and all that until he permed it out.
In that aspect, but man, listen. Yeah, man. You went. I was in the garden for all of those fights. Yeah, man. And he wasn't no brother in them fights.
Oh man, listen, yo, we almost out of time, man. Yo, Baba Sekou, man, definitely always great to have you on, and of course you always welcome here on the Parry, man. Again, last night was historic. I can't remember the last time I was this hyped. Like, probably the last fight before this one where I got like goosebumps, man. Like I'm sitting on the edge of my seat at the ring walk, like. It was probably Errol Spence Bud, to be honest. Like I was super hyped for that fight. Yeah, but this fight, there was a feeling in the air, bro. I mean, people that wasn't even like, you could tell are not hardcore, really into boxing like that, was like, oh, the fight is tonight. Right. Oh yeah, the fight. Who you got? Like everybody come up to me like, oh, you watch boxing, right? Who you got? Who you got? Like it was such an event. I think it was well. I think the broadcast looked spectacular.
It was good. Yes.
Maybe it was probably too much going on in the undercard, but I thought the presentation
and kind of entertaining though. It was just too long.
It was just too long. That's what I'm saying. Like it was just too long. Like let's get to the show. But But I do think even the press conferences and the weigh-ins, everything looked great. It kind of reminded me of a UFC fight. I'm not gonna lie, like the way they do their stuff. Like it kind of had
Dana
the same
White's
feel.
involvement, so you know you
That's
have
what
that
that,
involvement.
that's my point. But Dana White need to get out of here with that.
PKO league.
He need to get out of here with that trying to strip the Ali Act and all of that. Nah.
They're
like,
trying to create the league, so you know this is definitely something that we're gonna be seeing. And you know, part of the reason why we're seeing such a undercard where we didn't know that these fighters like that was because of where was the money to pay anybody after you pay 150 and 50? After you pay 200 million, where you gonna pay these guys? You know, so you put a Vargas Jr. on the fight card. You know,
he got to do something. Yeah, Vargas Jr. got to do something about that hairstyle, though, fam. That was looking. I mean, that was straight Chicano, man. Like, geez, like.
I mean, he is Chicano. He represents.
Nah,
you know,
I'm just saying, like he might as well came to the ring in some Pendletons and the flannel, like, you know what I mean, with the lokes on, like he.
I mean, he might as well. It's unfortunate.
But his father has some crazy hairstyles. His father has some crazy hairstyles.
His father used to have that shit in the front.
Yeah, that little thing in the front. It runs in the family. It runs in the family, man. Come on.
My man had the cowlick with the part, like it was crazy. But anyway,
it definitely didn't help him in the ring because he got his ass whooped. And Max Kellerman announcing during that fight was atrocious. He wanted Vargas to be in that fight so bad. It was sickening. Listening to that announcement.
But yo, let me remind everybody to please jab that like button, uppercut that subscribe button, lead hook that share button, throw a combination of the notification bell so you can stay updated when we drop new content, and follow us on Instagram and X at the Parry 101 and on TikTok at the.parry.101. Before we get up out of here, man, Baba say cool, man. Any last thoughts?
No, I just want to give thanks to the Most High for being able to witness what I saw last night, to be, witness history. And, just big ups to Bud, man. Whatever you do next, whether you retire or whether you, campaign some more, you've earned it, man. You did it the right way. And more power to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just say the same. Like whatever you decide to do, you earned it. You earned it. You put your name in the conversation. You etched your name in stone. It's there now. It's official now. So you don't have to do anything else. And if you do decide to do something else, I'll be there watching, rooting. I say go over to UFC and get a bag if you can over there. You know what I mean? The Turkey, he's good friends with Dana. They got their partnership. Let's see a crossover type of event, and let's see one of ours beat the shit out of one of theirs.
Fight one of the Pauls. Fight one of the Pauls. Jake Paul or Logan. Fight one of the Pauls.
Yeah, fight one of the Pauls in an MMA match.
Everybody else making that crazy money, that crazy circus money.
Before you do that, though, make sure you retire from boxing officially.
Agreed.
Retire from boxing officially, man. But my last thoughts on it, man. Again, witness history, man, and I just to Terence Crawford, man. You are an absolute great. Welcome to the realm of the immortals. You're now on the Mount Rushmore of boxing. And just thank you for your hard work and really showing an example of how to grind your way to the top. Go ahead, Jay.
One last thing, real quick. The fight entrances, real quick, just to end it, real quick. I don't know who the Mexicans was that Crawford was able to hire to do that. I hope they made it back home safely. You know what I'm saying? I hope that they got out of that arena very safely, doing what they did. And that's all. I just wanted to say that real quick because that was very ballsy. I was a lot of my machismo to do that right.
No doubt. Just remember again to smash that like button, man. And this is the Parry where we don't pull or duck no punches. I am Bomani UFG.
Pragmatic Shay Blidak.
And shout out to Seba Say Cool, my Baba. Thank you again for joining us. And you know what it is right here on the Parry. You know where to come get the real right here on the Parry. Let's go.
Actually, now we're going to show you how to catch the jab. Actually, in boxing, it's called parrying.